Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. I am going to be giving you some big news on Jude Bellingham, also going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Jadon Sancho, and there's lots of other things to talk about. So the first topic of development I'm going to start with is Jude Bellingham. So according to the German press, Jude Bellingham is a signature away from completing a transfer to Borussia Dortmund. So reportedly, Jude Bellingham is set to reject a move to Manchester United and Chelsea. Now, obviously, Borussia Dortmund have been emerged as the favourites anyway to sign Jude Bellingham. Obviously, the narratives that have been coming out recently about him were totally comparison to the ones that were coming out the other week, because it said the other week that Borussia Dortmund had dropped their interest in Jude Bellingham due to uncertainty over their finances, because don't forget, a lot of clubs across the world are under financial pressure due to this coronavirus, and actually a lot of teams could lose millions in transfer revenues due to this coronavirus outbreak. Now, there's a number of clubs that have expressed their interest in Jude Bellingham. Birmingham City do value him at around 30, in the 30 odd million pound range, from 30 to 35 million pounds of value Jude Bellingham at. But from my own perception on Jude Bellingham is, I don't think he's at that elite level as yet, or I don't think he's Premier League standard. I think from my own perception that Jude Bellingham needs at least another season in the Championship. So I'm reiterating what I've mentioned before, because this is only his first season in the senior squad, and I've got to give him a lot of credit because he has been a revelation this season in the Championship for Birmingham. I think he's played around 30 odd games for Birmingham this season, so he has played persistently, has the player. Don't forget, he became the youngest player to ever represent Birmingham. He made his senior debut at the age of 16 years and 38 days. By the way, Jude Bellingham is expected to sign his professional contract in the summer when he does turn 17, because he's still inexperienced at the moment. He is only the age of 16. But up until this point, Jude Bellingham has spent the entirety of his career with Birmingham. He's been a Birmingham City player since the age of 8. Now, obviously, I'll reiterate what I mentioned to you the other week. It said that Man United put a contract offer in for Jude Bellingham worth around £100,000 a week, but it turned out that actual contract offer was lower than Borussia Dortmund's bid. So this is what, it did come out and say. Now, obviously, quite a few weeks back now, Jude Bellingham had visited our Carrington training ground to hold talks with Sir Alex Ferguson. Also, to his parents, had met up with Ed Woodward, to negotiate a possible transfer to Manchester United in the summer. But the 30 or the 35 million pound would make Jude Bellingham the most expensive British teenager in history. But I've got to give him a lot of credit because he has done really, really well at Birmingham. I think he is predominantly a number 10. But yeah, it's looking like, Borussia Dortmund are going to get him on the board. Now, if you want for this coronavirus, then maybe Borussia Dortmund would have got a transfer finalised already for Jude Bellingham. So if recent reports are to be believed, it's looking like that Manchester United are not going to get Jude Bellingham in the summer transfer window, but he has been a priority target for us. But the player's preference is a move to Borussia Dortmund over Man United and Chelsea. Liverpool have also been in for him. Quite a few clubs have expressed their interest in him, Bayern Munich, But yeah, so Birmingham do want in the 30 odd million pound range for him, because his salary at the moment, I think, is on around £145 a week. So that's the latest news on Jude Bellingham. But there is positivity now coming out regarding Jadon Sancho. We have been given a boost in our transfer pursuit of Jadon Sancho, because a football agent has come out and basically shut down Jadon Sancho's links to Chelsea and Liverpool. So that does mean in that aspect that Manchester United are emerged as the favourites to sign Jadon Sancho. Now, don't forget, yesterday the Irish Independent reported out saying that, the Irish Independent came out and said that Jadon Sancho has unofficially confirmed that he will complete a transfer to Manchester United in the summer, because Man United is his preference. Now, it's obviously already been revealed how much Jadon Sancho will cost Man United. He will cost us around £120 million. Borussia Dortmund want at least £100 million for the player, but either figure is going to make him a record signing in the Premier League, and it's going to make him our most expensive signing. And it's as confirmed that Manchester United have been in contact with Jadon Sancho's agent, but we have not yet put an official bid in for the player. But I do presume that Manchester United are willing to meet what Borussia Dortmund are demanding for the player. Now, it did say we're willing to offer Jadon Sancho around £400,000 a week. So obviously, that will not only make him that'll make him the best player at the club. Also, the most expensive signing. 400 grand a week, so that's double than what Marcus Rashford's on, because Rashford is on around £200,000 a week at the club. Man United, don't forget, are willing to offer Jadon Sancho the iconic number 7. Like I mentioned before, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. Our recent number 7s haven't been so good though, but I think Jadon Sancho will do really, really well at Manchester United. Now, the Borussia Dortmund CEO, he came out a couple of days ago and he said he will not stand in Jadon Sancho's way if he wants to leave Borussia Dortmund this summer, but they do remain ruthless over their valuation. Borussia Dortmund said they're not going to let him go on the cheap. Even, with this coronavirus pandemic, he says Man United have got to meet Borussia Dortmund's full asking price. But Sky in Germany did confirm back in February that Jadon Sancho is expected to leave Borussia Dortmund at the end of the season. But not only Manchester United have been in for him, like I mentioned, Liverpool have been in for him. I think, Liverpool want to get Timo Werner and Sancho on the board, and then they were probably willing to sell Salah, Firmino or Mane, or two of them if they can get both players in. Obviously, so they can get game time week in, week out. But I think Jadon Sancho is on his way to Old Trafford in the summer. Fabrizio Romano brought this news out last week, and he said that Man United have been in contact with Jadon Sancho's agent for a couple of months, and we're also working on his contract. So this is what Fabrizio Romano did say. Another one of the main explanations why Sancho's interested in coming, like he revealed, because he likes Rashford a lot. Don't forget, Sancho and Marcus Rashford have got a really, really good friendship. Also, too, he's an admirer of Martial, and he also likes Mason Greenwood a lot. But we've been relentlessly linked with Jadon Sancho. We was relentlessly linked to him last year. The main explanation why we didn't get him last year is because we had no Champions League football to offer. So this is why we didn't get Jadon Sancho. But yeah, it's looking likely, if recent reports are to be believed, that Man United are going to get him in the summer transfer window. Jadon Sancho is now into his third season as a Borussia Dortmund player. He's in his third season as a Borussia Dortmund player. And I think he's scored around 27 goals in 69 Bundesliga appearances. He was dropped in quite a lot of games earlier on in the season, was Jadon Sancho. But I think since his arrival in Germany, I've got to be honest with you, he has been a revelation. He has been a revelation since his arrival in Germany. He's a player and he's still got 2 years remaining on his contract. He's under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. Now, Borussia Dortmund only paid around £7 or £8 million in from Man City, so they did get him for next to nothing basically. But analysed his performances in the couple of years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. But the beneficial thing is that, he's played in the Premier League before, enjoyed a couple of years with Man City, but never really got assured any first team opportunities at Man City, and this is the main explanation why he did leave Manchester City, Jadon Sancho. But him coming to reunite in the Premier League would be beneficial for the player anyway, because it will take his footballing career to the next level. Now, I think Jadon Sancho, would go very, very well alongside the likes of Martial, Rashford and Mason Greenwood. He'd complement our attacking line very, very well, got to be honest with you. Sancho's just recently turned 20, by the way. And another good thing is that I think a lot of young players are excited about, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy, because his transfer strategy, is recruiting young players to the football club. Yes, it is. That's his transfer strategy. But Sancho is predominantly a right winger, but occasionally he can play him centrally. So I think it's looking very, very imminent. He's actually going to be our first signing in the summer transfer window, and our 6th signing overall under the Solskjaer era. And that is if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager next season. By the way, the other week, this was stemming from a study called CIES. Jadon Sancho is the highest valued young player in the world. Said reportedly he's worth around £184 million. But Borussia Dortmund have come to accept the fact he wants to leave. But obviously, Dortmund, they're looking to get Jude Bellingham in as Jadon Sancho's adequate replacement. So that's the latest news now on Jadon Sancho. So the agent has shut the links down to Liverpool and Chelsea. So that's positive from our perspective. Now let's delve into some other news as well. I kept you up to date, obviously, what's been going on with Harry Kane. Now he's another player on Manchester United's agenda because Manchester United are in search for a striker. Now, obviously, Rio Ferdinand has come out and give his overarching view on this, and obviously Rio Ferdinand is a former Manchester United player, and he's actually said that Manchester United should spend over £230 million on Harry Kane and Jadon Sancho and that. So he's urged Manchester United, Rio Ferdinand, to make quite a few signings in the summer transfer window. Now, obviously, Harry Kane's come out in the past couple of days at least, and he's fueled quite a lot of speculation. And he basically did say, Harry Kane, the season may not be completed due to the coronavirus pandemic unless it does resume by the end of June. So what he's saying is if the season doesn't resume by the end of June, the season should be scrapped. And that means Liverpool should be denied the title. So this is what Harry Kane had said. So maybe Harry Kane will receive a lot of criticism for this, especially, from Liverpool fans. But Kane's obviously, made an admission, and he said, he could decide to leave Tottenham if, Tottenham do not progress. And quite clearly, he is unhappy at Tottenham, is Harry Kane. Now, he says basically, he's not going to stay at Tottenham for the sake of it. Now, Harry Kane has been at Tottenham for several years, and he hasn't won anything in terms of silverware. And Harry Kane's ambition is to win some silverware. Now, obviously, Tottenham can't win any silverware this season because Tottenham are not, in the Champions League. They're not in the FA Cup, and etc. etc. Their ambition now is to finish fifth in the Premier League, so they could get qualification for the Champions League. And, he's just unhappy under Jose Mourinho's guidance, is Harry Kane. Now, obviously, the likes of Man United have been in for him, like I mentioned, Juventus, Man City, Real Madrid. I think if he leaves Tottenham, from my own perception, he won't continue applying his trade in the Premier League. I believe he'll either go to Madrid or he will go to Juventus. That's what I do believe. But, Daniel Levy, who's the Tottenham chairman, he's given his overarching view on this, and he believes, from his own perception, that Tottenham have got no intentions of selling Harry Kane and that. And I think... What? No! No! Ed Wood. Yeah, what? Is it? And Ed Woodward is, I think, set to have negotiations with Daniel Levy over, possibly Harry Kane coming to Manchester United in the summer. But like I reiterate what I mentioned yesterday, in that Daniel Levy is a good businessman, but he's also a very, very hard negotiator, is Daniel Levy. Because obviously, we've done business with Tottenham in the past. Like I mentioned, we got Berbatov off them. We also got Michael Carrick off them. Carrick endured 12 years at Manchester United. Now, Tottenham have quoted out how much they would want for Harry Kane, and they would want in the £150 million range. But I'm very sceptical that Manchester United will pay that for Harry Kane, because that figure would make him one of the world's most expensive players, and definitely, the most expensive signing in the Premier League. Now, Kane has been in Tottenham's senior squad since 2011, and he's gone on to score 181 goals, I think, in 261 appearances in all competitions, and he scored 136 goals in just under 200 Premier League appearances. Yes, he has. Kane's been in Tottenham's senior squad since he was the age of 16, and now he is the age of 26. Back in the summer of 2018, Harry Kane signed a 6-year contract with Tottenham worth around £200,000 a week. And as it stands now, he's got 4 years remaining on his contract. The good news is for Tottenham, though, when the season does resume, Harry Kane will be back in action because he's been out for the last couple of months with a hamstring problem. But he's been loaned out to quite a few clubs as Kane. He had a loan spell with Leyton Orient, Millwall, Norwich and Leicester. But, Kane may not leave in the summer. He could remain loyal to Tottenham, and he could see, what happens next year. And obviously, if Tottenham don't progress next year, then he could decide to leave then. But actually, probably could leave in the summer. Also, too, Gary Lineker's give his overarching view on, Kane's admission. But yeah, we will see what happens. But Tottenham have had a lot of injuries this season. But I think Tottenham definitely, made a mistake by recommending Jose Mourinho in. And, they shouldn't have got rid of Mauricio Pochettino, because Pochettino did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. And Tottenham, and analysing the vast majority of Mauricio Pochettino's tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four and that. But in the last couple of years of his tenure, Tottenham did become title contenders. They became title contenders. And there's actually, been talks of Pochettino possibly going back to Tottenham. He won over 100 odd games as well during his time with Tottenham. But, Mourinho's got a contract with Tottenham till 2023, hasn't he? Can't see him seeing out his contract. And he's on around £15 million a year. But yeah, so probably, Kane will leave. But I'm very sceptical that Manchester United will get him. Don't get me wrong, he'd be a great sign if Manchester United got him in. We've been in for Kane for at least the last 5 years or so. But I don't think he'll come to Manchester United, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Basically, we're looking for a striker to replace Romelu Lukaku, because he went to Inter Milan last summer. And I know we've got Odi Nagalo that's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Odi Nagalo's got 4 goals in 3 starts for the football club. And he's an option of a different type of centre forward, and he's totally comparison to our other attacking players, which is good, and his hold-up play is very, very good. I think Solskjaer's made an admission saying that, we are going to decide to make Odi Nagalo's transfer permanent in the summer. We're going to make his transfer permanent in the summer. But he says we're likely to extend his loan until June the 30th due to the coronavirus pandemic, because Odi Nagalo's current loan spell with Man United ends on the 31st of May. Don't forget, it's going to cost us around £15 million to get Odi Nagalo in on a permanent basis. But, Shanghai Shenhua, they're willing to offer him 400 grand a week before tax, plus a 2-year contract extension to convince him to turn down a permanent move to Manchester United. I've got to give Nagalo a lot of credit, because he has confounded his critics wrong, and he's a good cover-up to Marcus Rashford. And Rashford is out with a back injury at the moment. He's been out with a back injury, since the game against Wolves in the FA Cup. There's positivity regarding Rashford as well, because he's close now to returning for Manchester United. So when the season does resume, he will be back in action. Rashford was one of our best players earlier on in the season. Up until this point, Rashford has spent the entirety of his career with Manchester United. I think Solskjaer says, he sees the best of Rashford on the left-hand side. Obviously, Anthony Martial's another good attacking player for Man United. He's now into his 5th season at the football club, is Martial. He predominantly plays out wide on the left, but this season Martial has been operating in that number 9 role. Mason Greenwood's a very, very good attacking player for us, but that doesn't matter. Manchester United still need to get another centre forward in. But there's not only been Harry Kane on our agenda, there's been quite a few strikers on our agenda who we could go in for. There was a lot of narratives in the mainstream media the other week about Aubameyang coming in. There was also possible talks about Timo Werner coming in. But there would be cheaper solutions than Harry Kane, because Werner's available for around 50 million, Aubameyang's available for around 50 million, so that would be 3 times less than what it would cost us for Harry Kane. So let me know in your comments below, about Harry Kane. I would definitely, like to know in that. But, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has basically, identified the two areas, where he wants Manchester United to strengthen up. He wants a right winger, and he also wants a central midfielder. So this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed. And he does believe Manchester United need around 3 signings in the summer at least to become title contenders next season. But I can almost assure that Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. I'll reiterate what I said. I think he does deserve at least another season at Manchester United, does Solskjaer. And if it doesn't work out next season, then I would get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer then. But it is a transition period. And like I've said to you, there's some, you can take some credit. So you can take some positives so far out of his tenure with Man United. You can also take some negatives out of his tenure so far with Man United. But I've already gone through, with you guys on that aspect. Now, I also want to give you some news now on Paul Pogba. I have been talking with you guys a lot about Paul Pogba, haven't I, on a regular basis. Now, I've just been reading recent reports about Paul Pogba, and it does say he could be worth around he could be worth just £31 million now. due to this coronavirus pandemic. Now, I reiterate what I said earlier on, teams could be losing millions in transfer revenues due to this coronavirus. The other main explanation why it could be worth just 31 million, disregarding the coronavirus pandemic, is because, with his appearances, that have been limited this season. He's only managed to play 8 times this season as Paul Pogba, and also too with his lengthy contract, because Pogba's got 2 years left on his contract, 1 year with an option of a further year. Now, there is still uncertainty over Paul Pogba's future. Manchester United have not yet resolved Paul Pogba's future, and we're trying to resolve his future basically. Now, you've got some media outlets saying that Man United are confident that Pogba will stay at Manchester United next season, and you've also got some other media outlets saying that he could still leave Manchester United in the summer, and he wants to leave Manchester United in the summer, but we want at least £100 million for the player. Now, Pogba, of course, has been relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. There's also been a lot of talks about him making a return back to Juventus. PSG and Barcelona have also been in for him in the past. Last summer, Manchester United wanted £180 million for Paul Pogba. Obviously, that's why his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise, because Real Madrid were not willing to meet what he's demanding, because £180 million is just over double than what we paid for him from Juventus back in 2016. But Paul Pogba's got the same perception now as he had last summer, because last summer he did say he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge and all of that. So this is what Paul Pogba had said. He wanted to leave, last summer and that. And he told his teammates earlier on this season that he wants to leave Manchester United. Now, I think, Paul Pogba is interested in staying at the football club, like it said a couple of weeks ago, because he does believe he can form a good partnership with Bruno Fernandes, because he's excited about, the impact of what Bruno Fernandes has made so far at the football club. And you got Solskjaer coming out quite a few weeks back saying that he's confident that Paul Pogba will remain at the football club next season. But I don't know. Obviously, Pogba's agent Mini Raiola, at least in the last couple of years or so, has been working on trying to get his client a transfer away from Manchester United completed. Mini Raiola has been talking a lot since the turn of the year, saying that, he wants to take a great footballer to Real Madrid. He also said that Pogba's having a complicated time at Man United, and I do believe Woodward has also had negotiations with Mini Raiola to try and resolve Paul Pogba's future at the football club. But, when the season does resume, Paul Pogba is expected to play. But, he's our most expensive signing, because we paid £89 million for him. He's on around £300,000 a week at the football club, so he is one of the highest paid players. Now, as you all know, there's been a lot of rumours going on, at least in the last couple of days, saying, there could be a swap deal on the cards between Aaron Ramsey coming to Man United and Paul Pogba making a return back to Juventus. Now, I think a lot of Manchester United fans would be excited about the prospect of Aaron Ramsey coming in. Solskjaer's a big admirer of the player, by the way. I think it's because he's got a really, really good pedigree, in the Premier League, because don't forget, Aaron Ramsey endured 11 years with Arsenal, so he was at Arsenal over a decade. During his 11 years with Arsenal, he won 3 FA Cups. Also, he made 262 appearances in the Premier League and scored 40 goals over 300 appearances in all competitions. And obviously, Arsenal did get him from Cardiff for around £5 million. I think he was in Cardiff's youth set up for a good 8 years or so. But don't forget, we went in for Aaron Ramsey back in 2008. We went in for him. We went in for Aaron Ramsey. But obviously, Arsenal got him instead of us. Aaron Ramsey's 29 years of age. He is now at Juventus. Juventus got him on a free transfer last summer. But he's on a substantial amount at Juventus. He's on around £400,000 a week. So that could be the stumbling block of him coming to Manchester United. He's got a contract with Juventus until 2023. But, he's had injury problems, hasn't he, at Juventus. And he hasn't really flourished under Maurizio Sarri's guidance. But Aaron Ramsey's predominantly, box-to-box midfielder. But you can put him on the left. You can also put him on the right. So his versatility is very, very good. So would you take Aaron Ramsey at Manchester United? And that is the big question. So let me know in the comments below if you would take Aaron Ramsey. There's been talks of Juventus offering, Dybala or Miralem Pjanic. as you know, to get Paul Pogba plus around 50 or 60 million pounds. But there is uncertainty over Paul Pogba's future. So that's the latest news on that. I also give you the latest news, didn't I, on Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. You know, now reports came out yesterday morning saying that Man United are confident that they can, you know, get Saul Niguez on a club record transfer, because he's set to cost us around £135 million, is Saul Niguez. You know, like I said, he spent the vast majority of his career with Atletico Madrid as Saul Niguez. I think prior to one season when he didn't play for Atletico Madrid because he did have a loan spell. You know, Niguez, his release clause is 135 million. He's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026, because back in 2017 he'd signed a 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid. Reports came out the other week saying that Man United and City were in for him. Atletico Madrid have been trying to get him a new contract, but reportedly he's turned this contract offer down. Can play as a central or a holding midfielder. When he was younger, he was predominantly a centre half. So do you think Saul Niguez would be a good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba and that? Also, yesterday I've already given you the news, haven't I, on Jack Grealish. Possibly Manchester United could miss out on Jack Grealish due to the incident, you know, he had with his Range Rover. You know, crashed his £80,000 Range Rover into 3 parked cars in the West Midlands after he'd been at a party. And, you know, just hours before the incident, he'd urged people to stay at home, did Jack Grealish, you know, because of the coronavirus. I still won't fully disregard it, because Jack Grealish to Man United in the summer is still a possibility in that. And by the way, I just want to give you some news on this as well. The Premier League's ambitious plan to resume the season. The Premier League's ambitious plan to resume the season at the start of May. And he says, you know, the season will be completed by the 12th of July to avoid TV contract rebates of £762 million. This is what it basically said. So reportedly, you know, the season will resume in May, and these games will be played behind closed doors. Now, I think, you know, they're set to have another emergency meeting, you know, to establish plans for the remainder of the season, because it wasn't so long ago. It was actually, you know, saying that, you know, the season will resume in July, and games will be played behind closed doors over the period of 4 to 6 weeks. And then one point he was saying the season will resume in June and stuff like that. So the Premier League, you know, are making plans. You know, the season's been suspended since the 9th of March. It did get suspended till the 3rd of April. Then obviously, you know, the suspension got extended until April the 30th. And yeah, so I think, you know, there'll be another emergency meeting. But either way, it's been extended indefinitely. So no matter what, the season is going to resume. So it doesn't really matter. So Liverpool aren't going to be denied the title. You know, there was reports saying if the season wasn't going to resume and that, you know, 22 teams would have been in the league next season, 5 teams relegated, and this is what it said, and, you know, EFL or FA Cup games to be scrapped and that. But yeah, definitely, you know, the season will resume, but I think they'll finish it, you know, behind closed doors. So yeah, this is what's being confirmed. The season will resume in May. This has been confirmed. The first weekend of May it will resume. The games will be played behind closed doors. Yeah, because Sky, BT, and the international rights, the international rights share would demand £762 million. So let's just put that into the equation. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.